I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Bears edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Panthers win their 4th game of the year. The Seahawks won this contest, but will stay at the first place in the NFC West. Starvin' Marvin Harrison stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Jeff Garcia threw for 250-plus yards and helped his Browns beat the Dolphins. Right on the Mississippi River in St. Louis, we had the Rams get sent home with a 14-point loss. Broncos, Titans. Steve Air McNair calls the signals at the 24-yard line. And a quick rollout. Boy, he has some time. What a bullet! Touchdown! The Titans go on to win this by the final score of 21-0. Over at Heinz Field, we had the Steelers get squeezed out by 4 points. The Raiders erupted for 400-plus offensive yards in their victory at Arrowhead Stadium. The Saints lost at home and will have to hit the road to meet the Panthers. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Vikings win their 15th game of the season. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris, thanks. In front of you, we've got the AFC Infirmary Report. And as you can see, they were hit hard this week. This guy is probably the one that most leaps out at you. And you can tell from the expression on his face it was a bad one. A ruptured Achilles. And he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. In front of you, we've got the NFC list. And as you can see, they could form their own MASH unit. Anthony McFarland will be on the sidelines for a while, so this defense will need to do some reshuffling in his absence. It's a broken hand, and the doctors are saying he'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. Now, on to even bigger news, as you may have already heard. Donnie Edwards had to be placed on injured reserve, so he'll be on the sidelines for the rest of the year. Just a key blow to the heart of this defense. Now the big story of the day. Randy Moss will be on the sidelines for a while, and that is not good news for his club. So that'll do it for now. Boomer, back to you.
Giants, Bengals. Rudy Johnson is just thinking, let's get out of the shadow of our own goal line. There's a first down. What shadows? The only shadows are the fenders behind him. He could go all the way. A 98-yard run. The Bengals win this one by the final score of 14-10. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Ricky Williams is on the move. Perhaps not for all that he thought he'd get, but a good deal nonetheless. 4 years, $2.8 million. Rushin Jones is on the move as well, as he signs a 3-year contract with the Jets.
The Bills won this contest, but will stay at the 4th place in the AFC East. Sloan Thomas stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Deion Branch had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Patriots beat the Jets. And in our final game, we had the Cowboys come away victorious. So let's change things up a bit and turn to a guy that's had his eye on the college game, and that's our own Mel Kiper Jr. He joins us now. Mel, your work never ends, I know. Believe me, I know better than anybody else. But it's never too early to start thinking about next year's draft, is it?
Well, you're absolutely right. And with the college bowl season upon us, a lot of guys view their upcoming bowl game as more or less an open audition for NFL scouts everywhere. Owen is a guy, for starters, that I think truly has very few negatives in his game right now. 6'1", 209, out of Austin P State. And I really believe that the team that invests a top choice in him is not going to regret it. He looks to be the kind of guy that might need a little seasoning, but down the line, he's going to be an awfully good one. Simpson is another guy that I truly believe will be a frontline NFL starter somewhere down the line. The way he's performed this year makes me believe that his stock is really rising in NFL circles. So that'll do it for now, but expect there to be plenty happening between now and April.
Yes, indeed, just 1 week to go and the playoff picture's starting to take shape. But still some areas that'll need to be cleared up next weekend. We'll start with a look at the AFC playoff picture. Meanwhile, over in the NFC, the playoff picture looks like this. So that's how we stand to this point. Still lots of jockeying left to go as we get this thing sorted out for January. So that'll do it from here. Boomer, we send it back over to you.
That'll do it here for Pivotal Week 16. As always, plenty of surprises to go around and plenty of intrigue still to come. My primetime players each took his team to the next level, and each is going to take home a game ball. Great work, fellas. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.